green helmets on will have to work out how to get as close as possible to England. That's a big swipe, leg side. Will it go all the way? It does. A third Test 100 for Abdullah Shafiq. He has taken to Test cricket like a duck to water.
It's another 100 in Rawalpindi from Imam Ul Haq. He loves batting here.
That's all it needs to complete yet another magnificent 100.
It's time he finds the edge.
Cracking is Jack Leach, and he's taking it, so it's worked.
Could be a draw still, but England have given themselves a chance. Runs tomorrow and set it up for the final day. Brilliant from Stokes and his men.
Well, the sun's out here in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium as we enter day 4 of this. Dafa News presents KFC Pakistan versus England Test Series. Well, this is the situation at this point of time. England are obviously making 657 runs in their first innings, and in response, Pakistan are trailing by 158 runs. Well, it's a crucial day for England and Pakistan because England will be looking to get Pakistan out cheaply and then, of course, coming into bat. What would be interesting is to see how much of a target that they are comfortable with, because we heard a statement from Joe Root yesterday that they're looking to win, they're not looking to draw. I've got with me David Cower and Waqar Yunus on this Inverex Solar Energy Pitchside show. David, that's what we heard from Joe Root. You know, they're looking for the win. And you wouldn't expect anything less from England.
Well, no. Ben Stokes, who is obviously the captain, is a man who likes to think very, very positively. It's been a fantastic reign, even in this short space of time from the start of last summer in the UK. They've really laid down markers in terms of how they play their Test cricket. Now, in order to win this game, the best path for them is probably, well, they need to bowl Pakistan out to get these last 3 wickets, maybe a lead of, say, let's say a lead of 100 or so. Then we know they will press on as best they can. And late in the day, they will probably have enough on the board to say, right, we can set a target. All these plans are very easy to talk about, not always as easy to implement. You know, things can go wrong with the bat when you bat third, as it were. And if you don't make the right process, or progress rather, you then end up with some difficult mathematics. The other way around this, of course, is if things go the other way, where again, Pakistan might be bowled out. Even England could be bowled out, potentially. Maybe not on this pitch, but there you go. And then you end up with a game which is rather sorts itself out. So, I mean, there are lots of permutations available.
What kind of target do you think England is going to be comfortable with?
Good morning, all. Look, it is very hard to predict at the moment, but credit must be given to Pakistan, especially, after, being in the field for so long and, 600 plus runs being scored and, they've batted really well, 3 centurions and they're still looking good. I mean, playing the entire day without losing too many wickets. I think they've done extremely well. Target-wise, I would say they will probably look to get them out as soon as possible. They need time. Yeah. I know they play very positive cricket, and as you said, that they can lose more wickets also in that. But they'll probably be looking at 300 plus to give to Pakistan some maybe tomorrow early morning, or if they get it really quickly, maybe tonight sometime.
The thing about England is that if they get these runs, they'll get them at a certain pace, at a good pace. So I think the highest ever winning score batting fourth in Pakistan is something like 300.
Right. We're looking at obviously 300. I can tell you that 7.6 was the run rate at which they were scoring that first innings. So I can bet that they will go for that in this innings as well. But they'll be looking to get that wicket cheaply. Let's find out if the pitch is going to be supportive with Bazid Khan.
Pitch Report brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy.
As consistent as this pitch has been, I've been here every day looking at something which is out of the ordinary. Well, the extraordinary thing about the pitch is that it hasn't changed at all throughout the course of the game. You'd think that something would develop, but not so. So England have taken to other methods to try and get themselves a bit of success. I've never seen this either. We've seen a lot of records, we've seen extraordinary batting, but shining the ball, how innovative can you get? That is absolutely brilliant. They've tried everything to get that ball in shape and get the ball talking, but guess what? It hasn't talked at all. It's still the same. It's still difficult out there. Tell you what, England, with the way that they play, they'll still make a game out of it, and they'll make sure that they push it to the limits. And they talked about not playing for a draw, or draw is out of the picture. If Pakistan win it, so be it. I think it'll be very, very hard for England to actually get to that stage where they're comfortable of declaring and then bowling Pakistan out. I think Pakistan will be pretty happy with what England said last night. So leave alone the pitch, leave alone whatever the surface is doing, which is, I repeat, doing absolutely nothing. It's all about the intent and the gameplay of England.
Pitch Report, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
Well, the surface is pretty much the same as we saw in the last few days. It's not done much, as Bazat Khan said, and it's probably not going to do much, but it really is about how England is going to be approaching this game on from now. We'll take a short break and we'll be back just in a bit. Welcome back at the Inverix Solar Energy Pitch Side Show. Now, we saw that Imam Haq is one batsman who used his feet really well. We saw him go down the wicket against somebody like Jack Leach. Let's find out from Nasir Hussain and Arooj Mumtaz. More on that on the Expert Advice.
Expert Advice, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
There are plenty of spin being bowled in this test match, over 100 overs between spin. And what we saw in particular was the Pakistan openers play spin really well when they came down the track. I've been joined once again by Nasir. And Nasir, playing spin and using your feet, what is the importance of that?
Well, you did a good piece on commentary yesterday about Imam in particular not getting caught in the in-between length. Obviously, Imam is left-handed, but if I could do it right-handed, he very rarely got caught in between. He's either fully back, or when he came down, he was quick on his feet to get to the pitch of the ball. Now, that doesn't mean you come down fast just to hit everything. Quite a few times Imam came down the pitch and just batted it away, or even kicked it away if he didn't get to the length of the ball. So I think it's a vital part of your armoury when playing against spin.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a piece from Hawk from yesterday where he's actually come down to the same length when he felt he wasn't quite there, and he just sort of blocked it away. And when he felt he was there, he actually hit some big sixes. So it just, I think, picking up length and then getting to the pitch of the ball, both are extremely important.
And having a release shot. You know, high quality spinners will get dip on the ball. So they see you coming and they may just drop it short. And I see a lot of youngsters, boys and girls, that come down and think because they come down the pitch, they have to hit everything for six. What Imam did really well was when he came down and it wasn't there, what coaches call a release shot, he will just play it away. You can get deceived, but make sure you just have in the back of your mind, oh, I have been deceived, I'll just knock it in a gap for one, or even just kick it away and get back in.
Now, we talk about getting down the wicket to try and negate any spin possible and get to the pitch of the ball. The other thing is obviously going far back, let the ball spin when you open up angles leg side and offside as well.
I think so. I think the best one of that is Joe Root, actually. Joe Root has very quick hands and very quick feet, and when he comes, he has what we call in the game a forward press. He presses there, and then he either goes forward or he comes right back. You can almost go back on your stumps and play it from there. Obviously, that brings LBW into play. If you think of Azhar Ali with the new ball that skidded on yesterday, he went a long way back, but the new ball just did him for skidding on. The best thing about spin, kids believe that the slower the bowler, the slower your movements. Wrong. The slower the bowler, the quicker your movements. Quick hands, quick feet. When you have fast bowlers, then you can just use the pace and, you know, sort of glide the ball. When it's slow, make sure you keep your movements quick.
You've heard it from him. Make sure you keep your movements quick when you're playing spin.
Expert Advice, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
Trying to think of all the players from Pakistan that have done really well against spin and used their feet really well against spin. Shoaib Malik comes to my mind, somebody who goes down the track. What about from your playing era, somebody who you remember who played spin in particular really well?
There were a few. In Zamamul Haq comes into my mind, Javed Miandad, Salim Malik. I think all these greats who played the cricket in the 80s and the 90s. Spin was big those days, and especially in our part of the world. And you got to learn how to play it, how to manage. And I think the way Nasser is saying, just use your feet, come down the pitch, block it if it's not there, and nudge it away. I think these three comes to mind. Mohammad Yusuf, who's the batting coach at the moment with the Pakistan team. I think all these guys were just excellent. Playing in these conditions, you need to know how to tackle spinners and of course also score runs against.
We're talking about playing spin really well. England played spin well in particular really well, sweeping all the fast bowlers. Everyone literally coming from Pakistan. Now it's time for expert predictions. Let's hear the thoughts of our experts.
Expert prediction brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy.
Right. It's that crucial time, David, where I ask you about that first session. How many wickets is England looking at in that first session?
Right, it's going to become more of a wish list than a prediction, but I think for the sake of the game, we need 3 wickets to fall for exactly 29 runs.
Yeah.
The maths
very
relevant.
accurate prediction.
Well, no, it's one of the maths. I might be wrong. Who knows? Then that keeps the game in the right sort of position. Then it's a question of whether or not England can have the runs at the right sort of pace, and then we have a game on tomorrow.
3 wickets is what David is saying. What about you? Thoughts on that, Vakar?
Look, I think England would love to sort of bat before lunch. They don't want to go too deep. They don't want to be out there in the field for too long. So, they will look to get rid of these 3 batsmen as soon as possible. They're very low order batsmen. They haven't really got too much experience. They're debutants in there. So, they can do that. So I feel that England will be batting before lunch.
All right, England will be batting before lunch is what our experts have to say. There you go, expert predictions for you.
Expert prediction brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy.
We've spoken a lot about England. Quick thoughts. Pakistan, what should they do?
Stay positive. I think Salman Agha is going to be really, really crucial. Don't just go out there and keep on blocking the balls. Just look for runs, because the more you score, I think England will get under pressure.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts, gentlemen. Pakistan should look to play positively is what Vakar Yunus has to say. England, on the other hand, will be looking to wrap up things in that first session. They need 3 wickets. And it should be an interesting day's play today, day 4 of this test match between Pakistan versus England. We'll be seeing you shortly, just after this short break, so don't go anywhere.